Zoos offer people a chance to see animals they might never encounter in the wild and play a vital role in conserving endangered species. However, despite strict precautions,
Oh no!
some visitors still can't resist getting too close to the animals. While some encounters happen by accident, like a child falling into an exhibit, others result from reckless curiosity. Whether accidental or intentional, these incidents can have serious consequences. Join us as we uncover the top 10 people who fell into enclosures with wild animals. Number 10. Levon Merritt, in 1986. The case of Levon Merritt wasn't the first incident of a child falling into a gorilla enclosure, but it became one of the most famous. It happened at the Jersey Zoo in the UK. Levon Merritt, 5 years old at the time, accidentally fell into the zoo's gorilla enclosure. Due to the height of the fall, Levon suffered a severe head injury and lost consciousness. Terrified onlookers held their breath as a large male gorilla named Jambo approached. But instead of harming the child, Jambo did something incredible. He gently patted Levon's back and stood guard over him, preventing other gorillas from coming near. When Levon regained consciousness and began to cry, Jambo led the other gorillas away, allowing zoo staff to enter and carry the boy to safety. Number 9. Berlin Zoo in 2009. In a desperate act of self-harm, an unemployed teacher entered the Berlin Zoo's polar bear enclosure during feeding time. The woman scaled multiple barriers, including a fence and thorny hedges, before finally jumping into the water where the bears were gathered. One of the polar bears bit the woman severely, causing serious injuries to her arms and legs. As she tried to climb out of the enclosure, the bear pursued her, diving into the water. Fortunately, the zoo staff managed to rescue her in time, pushing the bears away and pulling her to safety. The woman was rushed to the hospital, where she underwent emergency surgery. The incident shocked the public and raised concerns about mental health and zoo security. Number 8. The Beijing Zoo in 2009. Pandas may look cute and cuddly, but they're still wild animals. In 2009, a man at the Beijing Zoo learned this the hard way after entering the enclosure of a 120-kilogram panda named Gugu. The man had climbed over a 1.5-meter barrier to retrieve his child's toy, but soon found himself in serious trouble when Gugu clamped onto his leg. Zoo staff rushed to help, eventually prying the panda's jaws open. The man suffered severe ligament damage and required surgery. Interestingly, this wasn't Gugu's first run-in with a human intruder. In 2007, a drunken tourist jumped into his enclosure and tried to hug him. The tourist later described biting the panda in an attempt to escape, only to realize that the animal's thick skin made it impossible to fend him off. Number 7. The Pittsburgh Zoo in 2012. Despite the rarity of fatal zoo incidents, tragedies happen. In November 2012, 2-year-old Maddox Durkosh fell into the African wild dog exhibit at the Pittsburgh Zoo. His mother had lifted him onto a safety railing for a better view when he slipped and fell more than 3 meters into the enclosure. Witnesses watched in horror as the wild dogs attacked the child. Despite frantic efforts from zoo staff to intervene, the situation ended in tragedy. Devastated by the incident, Maddox's parents later filed a lawsuit against the zoo, claiming inadequate safety measures. The zoo, however, maintained that the accident resulted from the mother's actions. Number 6. Toronto Zoo in 2016. A visitor at the Toronto Zoo sparked outrage after risking her life for a hat. The woman climbed over a protective barrier near the tiger enclosure to retrieve her lost hat. Onlookers screamed in horror as the tiger lunged at the fence, roaring and clawing at the barrier just meters away from her. The woman, oblivious to the danger, calmly retrieved her hat and climbed back to safety. Zoo officials condemned her actions, launching an investigation and warning the public about the risks of entering restricted areas. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but the incident served as a stark reminder of how quickly things can escalate around wild animals. Number 5. Detroit Zoo in 1990. Not all stories of entering animal enclosures end in disaster. In 1990, truck driver Ricky Suvaz became a hero at the Detroit Zoo after he saved a drowning chimpanzee. Visitors and staff watched in shock as Joe, a 60-kilogram chimp, struggled in the water surrounding his enclosure. Chimpanzees, despite their strength, are poor swimmers due to their dense bone structure. Without hesitation, Ricky jumped into the enclosure and pulled Joe to safety. His selfless act earned him praise from both the zoo and the public. Ricky's story became a testament to the rare moments of human-animal compassion that can occur even in dangerous situations. Number 4. Cleveland Metro Parks Zoo in 2015. In 2015, another child fell into an animal enclosure, this time at the Cleveland Metro Parks Zoo. The 2-year-old climbed a protective railing and fell into a cheetah exhibit. His parents, who had reportedly been holding him over the edge for a better view, jumped in after him. Fortunately, the cheetahs did not approach the child. He was quickly rescued and taken to a hospital, where he was treated for leg injuries caused by the fall. The zoo emphasized the importance of following safety guidelines to prevent such incidents in the future. Number 3. Santiago Metropolitan Zoo in 2016. In a tragic event at the Santiago Metropolitan Zoo, a 20-year-old man entered the lion enclosure in an apparent suicide attempt. He stripped off his clothes and left behind a note and drawings before climbing into the enclosure. The lions attacked him, causing severe injuries. To save the man's life, zoo staff were forced to shoot and kill 2 of the lions. The incident sparked widespread debate about zoo ethics and mental health awareness, with many mourning the loss of the animals. Number 2. Brookfield Zoo in 1996. One of the most heartwarming zoo rescue stories occurred at Brookfield Zoo in 1996. A 3-year-old boy fell nearly 5 meters into a gorilla enclosure, losing consciousness upon impact. As terrified visitors watched, a western lowland gorilla named Binti Jua approached the child. Binti, carrying her own infant on her back, gently cradled the boy and carried him to a doorway where zoo staff could reach him. Her remarkable act of kindness captivated the world, reinforcing the complex emotional intelligence of primates. Number 1. Ningbo Zoo in 2017. A tragic incident at Ningbo Zoo in China shocked the nation. A man attempted to sneak into the zoo by climbing over a wall to avoid paying the entrance fee. He inadvertently landed in the tiger enclosure. Zoo staff used fireworks and water cannons to scare the tigers, but one tiger remained aggressive. The animal dragged the man across the enclosure, inflicting fatal injuries. Despite emergency treatment, the man succumbed to his wounds. The tragedy highlighted the dangers of disregarding safety rules and the unpredictable nature of wild animals. And there you have it, 10 shocking stories that remind us just how unpredictable and dangerous wild animals can be, especially when boundaries are crossed. Thanks for watching. If you found this video fascinating, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to catch more incredible stories like these. Let us know in the comments which story surprised you the most. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.